It's 2026 and it's been dog's years since we've had a truly definitive, high-budget James Bond gaming experience. Ever since IO Interactive, the masters of stealth behind the Hitman series, announced Project 007, which is now First Light, the community has been hungry for a glimpse of the tone of the game. The recently released First Light title sequence isn't just a title crawl, it's a statement of intent. So let's break it down scene by scene. We open with a literal first light, the first major visual hook, an explosion of light and gold-flecked embers. It's not just fire, it looks like a luxury asset being incinerated. Now we see the silhouette of James Bond. He's moving through grand brutalist architecture where the shadows are as sharp as his outfit. Enter the chess pieces that we know from Russia with Love. They don't just float, they loom. A knight and a bishop are framed against the protagonist, appearing solid and immovable. Unlike the dancing girls of the 60s, these icons suggest a game of logic and cold calculation. Bond isn't just an agent here, he's a piece on a global board. Chess represents the old world of intelligence, slow, calculated and high stakes. When the pieces are blown to smithereens, it symbolizes the breakdown of tradition. Bond is a blunt instrument in a refined world. The fragmentation represents his arrival. He enters a structured game and breaks the board, replacing cold strategy with unpredictable action. No Bond title sequence would be complete without the classic female silhouettes, and here they are presented with a predatory twist. Glaring, glowing eyes. It's a haunting update to the traditional Bond girl trope. They aren't just background dancers, they feel like watchers or threats. As the pace picks up, the old world elegance is invaded by the digital. We see the dots. At first, they look like simple UI elements, but they shift to form an authentication code. This is a brilliant nod to the classic gun barrel dots from the Bond films, reimagined as a digital lock. Codes and UI elements flicker over a clinically white backdrop. This is the IO Interactive signature, the world of assassination, where information is the primary weapon. The tension ramps up with the lasers and reaching hands. The lasers provide sharp, geometric lines that cut through the darkness, while the hands represent the fates mentioned in the song, reaching for Bond, trying to pull him down. Then we get the golden mask that has also appeared in images and trailers already. It's a striking, static image that suggests a hidden villain, but also the masks Bond himself must wear. It's cold, lifeless, and perfectly contrasts with the fluid movement of the silhouettes. But the real visual climax happens right here, the destruction of a massive crystal chandelier. In Bond films, luxury is always the first casualty. Bond cannot enter a room without leaving a trail of expensive destruction behind him. It highlights the high cost of his lifestyle and his work. Whether it's $1 million Aston Martin being destroyed or a grand ballroom being riddled with bullets, the destruction of beauty emphasizes the ugliness of his job. We watch the chandelier shatter in extreme slow motion, glass fragments filling the screen and acting as a metaphor for the chaos Bond leaves in his wake. When Bond bursts through those grand heavy doors, it breaks the slow motion, hypnotic dream of the title sequence. Up until that point, we've been drifting through metaphors, chess pieces, floating hands, and digital codes. The doors slamming open provides a kinetic reset, and by having him physically smash through doors, the sequence tells us the talking is over. The game has begun. It's the most human Bond moment in the sequence. Up to that point, he's been a shadow or a silhouette. The act of kicking or throwing open doors gives him weight, power, and intent. It's the classic Bond arrival that lets the audience know that no matter how sophisticated the trap is, 007 is going to kick the door off its hinges to get to the truth. Since this is an I/O interactive game, bursting through doors is also a classic gameplay beat. It's a visual promise that while there is stealth and calculation, there is also high-octane aggression. Now, what about the song by Lana Del Rey? The music is, of course, the heart of this sequence, and Lana Del Rey has long been the unofficial choice for a Bond theme by many of us, and here we can hear why. Her voice has that sultry noir quality, dripping with a blend of danger and elegance that matches the orchestral swells perfectly. The lyrics are deeply thematic. When she sings, "Your life's like a game," and "Moth to a flame," she's touching on Bond's self-destructive nature. But the most interesting part is the ending, where she directly addresses him. "Bond, are you ready?" It breaks the fourth wall, turning the song into a direct challenge to us, the players. The rhythm of the track is built on a slow, deliberate tempo that creates a sense of predatory movement, like a panther stalking its prey. This rhythm mirrors Bond's own movement in the sequence, calculated, slow, and inevitable. The song follows a traditional verse, pre-chorus, chorus structure, but the arrangement is designed to feel like it's closing in on us, the listeners. The verses are stripped back and atmospheric, and Lana's vocals are breathy and low in the mix, accompanied by a haunting melody. When the cinematic strings begin to swell, the harmony shifts from minor to a more suspenseful diminished chord structure. This matches the visual introduction of the lasers and the golden mask. Finally, in the chorus, the wall of sound hits. The brass sections kick in, a definite nod to the John Barry era, and the rhythm becomes more assertive. It's wide, sweeping, and epic, designed to match the scale of the grand architecture and the falling chandelier. The tone is the song's strongest asset. It doesn't sound like a hero's anthem, it sounds almost like a lament. Lana's tone is wary and cynical. When she sings, "Is it real or is it fake?" she's questioning the reality of the spy world. There is also an inherent femme fatale energy in the vocals. The song sounds like it is being sung to Bond by the world itself, a world that is trying to seduce and also trap him. The repetition of "Will you play?" over the fading orchestra creates a haunting, unresolved ending. The song doesn't end on a triumphant note, it ends on a question, which is perfect for a game that hasn't fully started yet. Lana Del Rey was the correct, albeit overdue, choice. The melancholic danger in her vocals matches the visuals perfectly. The song doesn't feel like a pop hit, it feels like part of the world's architecture. By directly addressing Bond in the lyrics, she bridges the gap between the viewer and the protagonist, making the game feel personal. So, whether we're in it for the high-stakes strategy, sneaky stealth, or the cold-blooded action, First Light seems to have us covered quite well. The grand game officially begins on May 27 when it will be released on Steam, and honestly, we can't wait to get our hands on the trigger, can we? Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Have a great day, Bond fans.
If you do get caught, we will deny ever having heard of you. How does that sound?
When do I start?